Herr Rabinowitz. I love you, brother. I'm sorry if I have a few drinks sometimes and escape boundaries. My son tells me I do the same thing to him. He's like, Dad, stop. As a single dude, studied in history, yada, 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 it blows me away that history continues to repeat itself. And I think this hat somehow got mistaken for this hat or that hat. You know, Gilad, I love Gilad. He says a flag is something they use to shrink wrap your mind and then drape your coffin. However, if you go back to Greece and you go back to Aristotle and you go back to Jesus, the story of Jesus, whether it be the Messiah or whatever, the dude, his philosophy, wherever that came from, yada, yada, yada. Jesus and Aristotle. The founders of the United States of America were well versed in all of this, as sort of I am, because, well, I'm an American. I grew up in the South. I wear this shirt because I know that there were brave soldiers on both sides. Both sides of any issue. The first casualty of any war is the truth. All wars, historically, are fought over real estate, the commodities, including people that exist on that real estate, and the money systems that move those commodities, whether it be gold, silver, rubies, diamonds, cotton, agriculture from the Ukraine. We know that's the breadbasket of Europe, yada, 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 yada. The founders gave us tranquility, hopefully, in our Constitution, which says Congress shall have the right to coin money, set the value thereof, and set correct weights and measurements. You know, when my mother and her husband owned the brass scales, which is now Sperry's, the brass scales were there. So I guess as an early Judeo-Christian guy, I learned this because, again, I have Jews in my family, I have Christians in my family. I have what my grandfathers taught me from accounting, from my grandfather, my godmother, yada, 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 yada. And here we find ourselves. It's all in the banking laws, and no one ever pays attention. No one ever reads these bills anyway. They just, oh, money, right here, fund me. Whether it be Raytheon, Boeing, or anything. And I've got a kid that's going maybe in the Navy. I don't know. I kind of don't want him to. I see the system for what it is. It blows my mind. I'm going to sing this from my black friends. I love my black folk. My Catholic priest is black. Black folks understand slavery. And so did the Scotch-Irish in the South when they fought against the things that were occurring. Only 3% of Southerners owned slaves. 96% of all slaves went to the Caribbean, Latin America, and South America. The Scotch-Irish that flew the battle flag of Virginia did so because they understood law and the things that were happening in law, and they understood ethics and morals and whatnot that go with that. So the whole LBGQ, all that movement, it's run by the banks because the oldest trick in the book is asking the wrong questions. You don't have to worry about the answers. The answers have always been for a human to live on this earth in a libertine experiment is life, liberty, pursuit of happiness is property. God, gold, guns, goats, title, or deed. I've said this to my friends, you got the World Economic Forum, and they're doing this with the oil and the gas, and there's the Rockefellers, and then Royal Dutch Shell, Rothschild, blah, 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 blah. And the bondholders, the shareholders, and yada, 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 yada. It is the matrix. But liberty, Liberty comes from God, gold, guns, title, and deed. If you have all that, you have everything you need to be free. And the American Revolution was about that. And I'm glad my black friends have got that. It's a battle that was won. It wasn't necessarily, and yeah, it kind of sort of was over slavery, yada, 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 yada. Slavery goes on to this day. It's called debt slavery. I'm $8,900 in debt to the Federal Reserve through the IRS. I got to pay $500 a month until I pay this off. And we're sending money to the Ukraine to go figure. So it is either make America great again with our banking system, or it's not. What makes America great is God, gold, gun, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and property. Jefferson said it. America was settled by yeoman farmers, artisans, and philosophers. And back years ago, you could take grandma's candelabra on the plantation from all the land there in that little plantation house, and you could melt that down into silver at a mint. At a mint. And $1 was the official constitutional definition of the United States dollar, which the 13 original colonies got that idea and wrote that into their constitution because that's the definition of a dollar, 1 troy ounce of silver. This is not hard. What is money? What is currency? What is a digital ID? Blah, 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 blah. What is a birth certificate? What is a register? What is a ledger? What is a deposit? Everybody's got direct deposit today. Direct deposit of what? A number on a ledger? Boop, 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 boop. Go start a war. BLM. Bloop, 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 bloop. Until America, again, Jesus, Aristotle, taxation without representation. Taxation without representation, please. Again, you heard what I told you. I have to spend $500 a month till I'm settled up. Where's my representation? Peace. Love you guys.